everyone.
Hello.
This is Sam.
This is Kylie.
And welcome to another episode of Two Peas Potting. And today, we're gonna talk about something that might be slightly controversial.
Slightly.
And
It's a mini-sode today, you guys.
Yeah, a mini-sode. Not a full-blown episode. Yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna get some hate for this one.
So today's topic of conversation, audiobooks. Is it reading or not?
Also, do you count them in your, if it is reading, do you still count them on your
reading goal? Reading goals, or in general, does it count? So we're about to give our takes on it. Get ready to hate us or agree with us, or to each their own.
What is your take? Because I'm pretty sure you know.
Okay, I think it counts as long as, the way I do audiobooks is if I happen to find it on, Spotify for free or something, and I also have the physical copy and I'm at work and I want to read, but I can't physically hold the book and read and work, I listen to the book. But then I go back to reading once I can. So, in that aspect, I let it count, because I'm still actually physically reading it, but I just want to hear it while I'm working instead of listening to a podcast, for example.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm really into the book and I'm like, I need to know what's going on and I need to know now.
See, that...
because my patience is not there.
I would count that, because that's what I did with Emily Henry's new book. I audiobooked the entire middle of the book because I hated it and I couldn't get through it.
Sometimes you need to do that. I had to do that with Crossed. I couldn't get into it reading it, so I had to audiobook it for the rest of it, but I still had it.
Yeah. But just listening to the book start to finish, I don't count.
What about if it's a memoir and it's a celebrity reading the book for you, for example? No? Okay. I've listened to 4 audiobooks where I didn't have the actual physical book, and they were all memoirs.
Yeah, I don't.
And I put it towards my reading goal, but I also read that many more books, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I don't count them. But I don't, judge other people for counting them. Other people...
Okay, I'm going to throw you a curveball for a second here.
Okay.
Oh, say you're somebody who you cannot physically read anymore. Your eyesight's not there, and you have to do audiobooks. Does it count as reading then?
Yeah, for other people it counts, but for me it doesn't count.
So even if you were blind and couldn't read, you wouldn't count it as reading?
No, because for me, the effort I have to put forth into making myself sit down and read a book.
Okay, alright.
It's the effort I am putting forth to read. It feels like an accomplishment. If I'm just in my car listening to an audiobook, I'm not putting any effort in, and half the time I don't even comprehend what I'm listening to because I zone out and I don't actively listen. And so it doesn't count for me because I have to go back and freaking back 30 seconds, no.
I can see that part, because sometimes I have to do that even when I'm just actually reading, where I don't retain it and I'm like, what did I just read? Let me go back. Certain audiobooks I can. This is where I don't really count them at all, is when people are listening to them on such a fast speed. I'm like, how are you even paying attention to that?
How are you even absorbing what they're saying?
Yes. When you're listening at 2.5 speed, it's like, what? How?
That's what I did for the last book of the Throne of Glass series. I listened to it at 3.75.
How the hell did you even...
I had the book in front of me.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, sometimes I'll follow along with my book, and I'll make it a little bit faster. I'll make it match how my eyes will read it, type of thing. But if I'm just listening to it, I think the highest I will put it is 1.3, because they talk too slow sometimes.
Yes. And they pause, they're like, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh my God, why did you pause so long?
Yeah, and so I'm like, I need you to talk like a normal person, please.
And I feel like for me, audiobooks, I just I correlate them to watching a TV show or listening to music. It doesn't take me any effort at all to sit here and watch TV or listen to the radio.
It's like listening to a podcast, Yeah.
It's just kind of there. It doesn't count.
Okay. That's fair.
And I know people make the argument but you're reading because you're absorbing the content. But I didn't read. I listened.
Yeah, you're not reading, you're listening. There is a difference there. I feel like it would count more if you, like you said, if you have the book in front of you and you're listening at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then it's like when you were in school and you would follow along when your teacher was reading out loud. you know? It's like, okay, I'm still kind of reading, because sometimes you can like skip ahead, because I was always that person in school when we were reading like an assigned book in class and the teacher was reading, I would read ahead because they were talking too slow.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, this is nice that you're reading, but you're going way too slow and you need to go at my speed.
This is not my speed.
This is not my speed at all. And that's my issue with audiobooks, and why like I can't get myself to pay for Audible, for example.
Audible is
because I really think it is too, because you have to fucking buy it anyway, so it's like, what's the point? Whereas, like, I know Spotify, this is my issue with Spotify. I love Spotify. I use it all the time. Obviously, it's our platform. But I don't like that I have a limited amount of hours to listen to audiobooks.
Yeah. Especially when you get, like, a big book.
Yeah. Like, I run out of time constantly, because when I was reading the Akatar series, I was really invested in it, and I was just wanting to I wanted to finish the series. And when I was at work, I would audiobook it, but I would run out of time because the books would take too long to read. And I only get I think I get 12 hours on Spotify, and I have like the premium, but it doesn't go any higher than that.
Because that isn't even
12
a
or
whole
16
book.
hours. Yeah, it's 12 or 16 hours, I forget. Yeah, and so it kind of sucks in that sense, because it's like it renews once a month, but even if you don't use it, you don't have any extra time. Like, there's no rollover minutes, which that would be great if there was. So it's like, if 1 month I don't use the audiobook feature, I should have all that extra time.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice. It's 12 or 16 hours, I forget which one, but it doesn't go any higher than that. And I'm like, well, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay for Audible, and I already pay Spotify Premium. You should allow me, there's no time limit on podcasts. Why is there a time limit on an audiobook?
Oh no, that's really stupid.
Yeah. So that's my biggest issue with Spotify, is just the audiobook thing.
Portion.
Yeah, because I don't want to pay for Audible.
Audible is a literal ripoff. And then you have to pay the same price for the audiobook as the physical book. And I understand that they're paying people to read this book and to edit it together and stuff. But dang.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's yeah. And there are other places you can go. You can look out on YouTube sometimes, and people like to just read the books on YouTube, and you can find pretty good ones there. I recently listened to a book on audiobook, or on Audible. It was the Beneath the Hood of the Sugar Lake series that I was reading, the one that I was stuck on for so long. Mm-hmm. I decided to start audiobooking it just to help me a little bit, so that when I was doing stuff or cleaning, I could listen to my book type of thing. And I didn't like the person that was reading it. Narrating. I didn't like the voice.
And I think that's a hard part for me. I feel like that happens a lot, where I just don't like the narrator.
Yeah, and that was my issue. And I've lucked out more on Spotify. Mind you, that was my first one on Audible, but on Spotify, I've lucked out with the people. They've been good. But Audibles, I was not impressed with.
Yeah. Audible I feel like it's really hit and miss. It depends on what the book is and what's who it's done through.
That makes sense.
I've heard some audio snippets from Lights Out, and that narrator, he's amazing. But there are some female narrators that I'm okay, no. And then it's not even the narrator's fault, it's the author's fault of just sometimes the way that they word things, and just hearing somebody else say it, you're oh, please don't ever say that out loud ever again.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was reading Lights Out, there were a couple of times when I would audiobook it on Spotify, and I really liked the narrators because it was a boy and a girl, a man and a woman, and they swapped off, because that's how the chapters go in Lights Out. They swap off like that, and I liked both of the narrators on that, and they did their best to do the voices of the other person, but
yeah. And that's what I don't like. When there's a book where it switches POVs and they only have one narrator.
And then you have a man trying to do a woman's voice, and they're just and she went like this. And it's
yes, they do their best.
Yeah. And then the girls being and this big guy, here I am. It's no, you can't do a man voice, and you probably can't do a woman voice, so let's just not.
Let's just not. But then, I get it, because that makes the audiobooks cheaper, because they're not having to pay as many people, and so then that, combats the price thing, but it's just a lose-lose. I just don't prefer audiobooks, in general. I can appreciate the fact that they got me back into reading.
Okay, so did you count those at all towards your reading goal when you did, because that was the entire Akatar series, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Really? Okay. Huh.
But I didn't do Goodreads and stuff at that point because I like wasn't reading at all.
Okay. That's
But
fair.
even after that, like I did not count anything that, and if I did, I would have had a really, really nice like end of year books read because that's when I was commuting an hour for work, so I flew through audiobooks.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what's, when I go see Alex, I like to listen to either a podcast or an audiobook, depending on my mood.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just music, because it's a 45-minute drive for Alex and I to go see each other. So,
Yeah.
it's like, that's a good amount of time to get into a book.
I never counted them.
I've always kind of used audiobooks to help me get into the book sometimes if it has a slow start for me and I'm like, I'm having a hard time. I'll just kind of listen to it a little bit and read along. I'm like, okay. It's getting me into it now. And then I usually take over on my own.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just, to me, it's just not reading. And like, no hate against anybody who does count it as reading, but to me, it's not. It takes me zero effort to sit there and listen to something. And the thing is, like, I don't know how people do that when they just like sit and listen to them. I would get so bored.
But I mean, the same could go for someone saying, I can't just sit there and read. I would get so bored.
That's fair. It's okay to be wrong. I'm kidding, kind of.
You're not kidding. She's half kidding.
But yeah. But then, like, the thing is, like, if you get bored sitting and reading, then you're not a reader. You don't like to read.
That's true. Like, I have no problem doing that. I turn on my little cozy coffee shop music. I'm on YouTube and I just sit in my bed and or sit in my chair or wherever, you know?
Yep.
But I don't. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know, to certain people, you know, that's not an idea of fun. To me, that is. To you, that is. Like, it's just, to each their own is how I look at it. If you want to count an audiobook as reading, that's your prerogative. I have put them towards my reading goals, but I clearly label all my shelves and I put it as like, this was an audiobook, I listened to it. But typically, if I add an audiobook to my read list or my reading goal, I will add an additional book to read. So it's like I count it but don't at the same time. Because it cancels out, essentially.
Yeah.
It might not make sense describing it, but to me it makes sense.
Yeah. I have a list on Goodreads of like, it has like the read, currently reading, TBR, and then audiobooks.
Yeah, same.
Because I don't count them as my read. Because
I put them on their different shelf. And like, I'm just weird. And I have another shelf that's like, this was my Kindle book. Like, I read it on my Kindle. It wasn't a physical book. Because a Kindle, yes, they're books, but it's not a physical book.
That's true. But you still put the effort to read something on a page.
That's true.
That's true. The time. And I feel like, I don't know, I think for me, the reason I don't count audiobooks as reading is when I sit and read, like, that's where all of my focus is going. That's where all of my attention is being directed. When you're audiobooking, you're doing something else.
That's true.
You're, like, multitasking.
See, like, yeah, because that's when I would listen to audiobooks, like, when I was at work. I'd do it when I was, like, resetting the dining room or something. When I was, like, by myself, no one was talking to me. I'm just resetting and cleaning everything. Because it just, like, it's not like my mind was fixating on other stuff. It was just, like, kind of mindless, repetitive work that I already knew how to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it's, like, driving, it's okay to do it when you're driving, I feel like, because that's something you do all the time. It's something normal.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, it's not like you're cleaning or something, you know, where you're kind of thinking about other stuff.
I'm just not I'm just not a big audiobook person.
And you know what? That's totally fine.
And I think they definitely had the time and place for me. Like, I definitely audiobooked a lot when I commuted because you can only commute 2 hours a day for 4 years for so long before you get sick of listening to any type of music.
I can understand that.
But
I mean, that's kind of driving in general for me. I like to switch it up between, like, a podcast or music or even sometimes a book, you know?
Yeah, I get that. I just don't drive long distances anymore to merit.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess it would make the difference if you had to, like, drive further than where you have to drive. Because your 2-hour commute to work turned into a 5-minute commute.
Not even.
Maybe.
You know what? I've earned my 2-minute commute, thank you.
Yes, you have. I agree.
I've done
2 minutes? Jesus.
Unless there's snow. Snow, it'll take me about 5.
Whoa. Calm down.
I know. I do think I'm late for work all the time.
I love that for you, though. Oh, I forget how close you live to work because when you're, like, Snapchatting me and it's a certain time, I'm like, shouldn't she be at work? And I'm like, oh, wait.
She's, like, on her way. Yeah, it really has been a problem. Because before, I would have to get up at, like, 5 in the morning to get ready to be able to leave to get to work on time. And now I'm like, Oh, it's 7:45. I guess I should leave my house. Contract time is at 8:15.
Damn.
It's nice though. But yeah, so I just don't have the time for audiobooks.
That's fair.
Well, I don't make the time for audiobooks.
Well, yeah, you've never.
I mean,
made the time
to be completely honest, I don't really make very much time for regular books either at this point.
Yeah, that's true too. But you know what? We actually, something kind of new for us. We set ourselves a deadline for a book that we decided to read together.
Yep. We're going to make ourselves read a book, so we have a book to talk to you guys about.
Because as you noticed, I'm sure we haven't really been talking about a book lately, but we haven't really wanted to.
Nope.
And also, we just wanted to incorporate other stuff besides a very in-depth book review.
Sometimes. Just the slump is real.
Yeah, because it's led to, like, a podcast slump for us, because, like, we don't want to read a book, but we also don't want to talk about a book.
Yeah.
But we can talk about many books.
We've definitely been in more of, like, a watching TV mood.
Honestly, yeah, I've been binging TV like no other.
Yeah, and there was a while, like, when I was reading a ton, I didn't have any interest in watching anything on TV. And so I was like,
same.
I want to read. I don't want to watch anything. And now I'm like, I don't want to read. I'd rather literally watch anything. Everything.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm getting out of my reading slump. I started to, but those books saved me. Red, White, and Royal Blue got me out of it. And then I read The Housemaid is Watching right after, and those really helped.
Yeah, I'll try to read The Housemaid is Watching. We'll see.
Yeah. I thought it was better than the first one, to be completely honest with you.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The next book we're going to read, Her Soul to Take, because we unintentionally both have the book.
And we decided, well, Kylie's like, look at the book I got. I'm like, oh, I have that. I'm like, I can read that. I'd be down to read that right now. That doesn't sound terrible.
Yep. So next week, we have our deadline. We got to finish it.
And we're going to
talk about it. Yeah. We should probably just keep that going, because we tend to forget what we read.
Honestly, and then we can be fresh.
Yeah.
So, we'll put on our Instagram a list of books that we both have, and we'll start doing deadlines for those books. So you guys, this next podcast episode will be on Her Soul to Take, and after that, you guys can pick what book we read next. Unless we pick one and we don't want to read it, then we're not going to read it. Your opinion kind of matters.
Oh my God.
We'll read it, I guess.
We'll also put a poll on your guys' take on an audiobook.
But yeah, is it reading or no? Do you count it towards your reading goal?
Yes or no?
For me, that's a no.
That's that simple. Well, it's not that simple, but But yeah, those are our takes. Sam gave her very strongly worded opinion, as she always does. That's why we love Sam. And then, like I said, I've said it in many episodes, and I'm going to keep saying it. I'm one of the most easygoing readers, so I don't really care either way.
You really are. You're just like, I don't read. Sure, it'll count. I'll read that, whatever.
Yeah, I'm a very easygoing reader, so it's not hard to get me to like something.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more picky than you are when it comes to.
You are, but I'm just here. I'll read, I'll listen. Yeah. If somebody wanted to read to me, I'll take that too.
I can't do that, I'll fall asleep.
Yeah, it'd have to be like, it'd probably have to be like a children's book. I'd be like, read to me, please. Sing for me, Paolo.
Sing for me, Paolo.
But yeah, I think that's our mini-sode. There's not much to really dive into about audiobooks.
Good. That's our hot take.
But we kept it mini.
Yep.
It was a hot take. It really was.
Yeah. So
it was our hot take on audiobooks.
Hope you enjoyed our mini-sode.
Yeah.
A little palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Before we dive back into the nitty-gritty of our book reviews. Because we're going to read a book, guys. You should be proud of us. Our book podcast we're going to read. Wow.
As if that shouldn't have been what we were doing all along.
Right. Insert applause here.
Yeah. God. It's like we're going to end this, and then it's going to pan over to, like, Hannah Montana when she's like, whoa, 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 yeah. And we're just reading. Makes me want to watch Hannah Montana now.
Oh, I binged that when Disney Plus came out.
Yeah, yes, so did I. I do it a lot more than I care to admit.
Hey. They hate us because they ain't us.
Facts. Well, guys, that's our mini-sode.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Two Peas Potting. Be sure to like and follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And can you like or follow? You can follow on Spotify.
Yeah, you can follow.
follow us on Spotify, and like and subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to watch the pod instead of just listening. Does watching the pod count as listening to a pod? Or are you watching a TV episode? Hot take. But anyway, thanks for tuning in to another episode, guys. And tune in next week for our actual book episode.
Yes.
But thanks for listening and or watching or both. And have a good rest of your day or night or morning or whatever time you're listening to
whatever.
or
have a good rest of whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Two Peas Potting. For me and Kylie are just potting through life, one book at a time, officially now, because we're going to read.
Oh, all right, guys. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.